Time now for a look at what's new for film fans this weekend. We're joined live by film critic Richard Crouse. And of course, Richard, it's the unofficial start of summer, so a lot of people like to head outside, but still lots of options if you want to stay inside. So let's kick things off with the return of Downton Abbey.
Yeah, this is one that fans have been looking forward to for a long time, and it's called Downton Abbey, A New Era, which kind of promises that there's going to be progress made around the old Downton Abbey, that things are going to be different. Well, for fans, I don't think they really want that. I think they want Downton Abbey to be just the same as it always was, and if that's what they want, that's what they get here. It's kind of like a warm hug. It is the story of Downton Abbey, that rich old manor with the Crowley family. It's got a leaky roof. They need to make some money, so they rent the place out to a film crew who wants to make a movie inside. And meanwhile, the Dowager Countess, her former, I don't want to give anything away here. A former friend of hers leaves her a villa in the south of France, so the family has to travel there to see what's going on with all of that. So you've got a couple of different stories happening here. You will get all the things that you want from this if you're a fan of all 6 seasons of the television show and the last movie. It's got all the actors returning, save for Matthew Good. Lots of great costumes, lots of one-liners from Maggie Smith. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because the filmmaking is a little dry. As I say in my written review here, it's about as dry as an old scone at tea time, but I don't think that's going to matter too much to fans of the show.
As you said, if you're a fan of Downton Abbey, you want Downton Abbey, you will get Downton Abbey. All right, so a bit of a hard turn right here. Let's talk about Chippendale making a cheeky return to the screen.
Yeah, now this is interesting to me, putting these two movies together, because Downton Abbey, it's obvious who's going to go see that, the Downton Abbey fans. I'm not so sure who's going to rush to Disney Plus to see Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Not that it's not a good movie. It's a very funny movie, but it is based on characters who are they've been around since the 40s, but made very popular in the 80s and 90s on their own show called Rescue Rangers. But that show was aimed directly at kids. This movie isn't. This movie really is more of an adult film. It's got lots of in-jokes about animation and the characters. It's about broken dreams in Hollywood. So Chippendale, once their show was canceled, all of a sudden things didn't go very well for them. So there's lots of things here that I just don't think kids will really understand. I do think, though, that parents, if they're, listening to this review right now, or anyone over the age of 30 who thinks that Chippendale Rescue Rangers, the movie, is like the television show, put that out of your mind and check it out on Disney Plus, because John Mulaney and cast are very funny in this. So I give it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's worth a look.
All right, sounds good. So tell us about The Valet.
The Valet, also on Disney Plus. This is a remake of a French film about a wholesome movie star, at least she has a very wholesome image, who gets photographed coming out of a hotel with her married lover. So her crisis management team comes together and says, well, we can't have this story come out. They have another look at the photograph, and there's a third person in the photograph who happens to be a hotel valet, parks the cars out front. So they suggest to the press that, well, she wasn't there with the married guy. She was there with the single valet. They'd been in a relationship for a while, so they decide to pretend that that relationship is real in order to bolster her career. And this movie has some good, solid laughs in it, but also, as we get a little further into the storytelling, is about treating people with respect and, treating people the way you would like to be treated, essentially. It's called The Valet. It's on Disney Plus now, and it's worth a look. It's like a 3 out of 5 star movie for me.
All right, and let's wrap it up with the new British horror film, Men.
Yeah. Now, Men is certainly the strangest film on the list today. The great Jessie Buckley stars in it as a woman who has come to the English countryside to recover from a great loss in her life. And as soon as she gets to this very remote home, things start happening that just don't feel right to her. So she calls the police. The police aren't overly concerned. And then when we get to the final 20 minutes of this movie, things that I can't even begin to describe or explain to you start to happen. This is a movie that I guess this is what interesting movies do. Showed me things I had never seen before on screen, for better and for worse. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I don't think it's entirely successful, but certainly those last 20 minutes are kind of unforgettable.
All right, all seem like good choices. Quite a cross-section of movies to choose from. And I'm a bit surprised. Who would have thought Chippendale would have come out with the best review out of these 4?
Nobody more surprised than me.
All right, great stuff. Thanks so much, Richard.